So,
How could you make it?
so how can we make it? What are the materials going to be? That's a very good question. What's your question?
How do we start friction?
Is this going to involve any friction? All right. What other questions?
How fast should it go depending on the materials that I have?
Oh, how fast should the roller coaster be? That's a great question. What other questions?
How to stop it and
How-
make it go?
Oh, that's a really good question. How are we going to stop whatever's going on the roller coaster and how are we going to make it go? That's awesome. What else?
How are we going to make it stick but also move?
Oh, because what if it doesn't stick? What would happen?
It would just fall off.
How are we? Okay.
But if it went really fast, then it would stay on because it's going fast and it would get.
So you think speed might have something to do with it? Oh, I love the way you're thinking. You're thinking like a great engineer. What else?
With magnets, it could help stop it because.
Okay, so magnets a possibility. What else?
How would we make it move?
How are we going to make it move? All right, well, let's see if we can answer a few of those questions by bringing up our constraints. What are constraints? Who remembers? It's a fancy word for what?
Like what we're gonna do or like questions.
You're on the right track.
Pushing and pulling.
What are constraints, though, when we're doing the engineering process and we say we have some constraints we have to follow? What is that a fancy word for?
It's like
Rules. Exactly, the rules. So here are our 3 rules today. Rule number 1, constraint number 1. Your coaster must include at least 2 curves. So it can't just be a hill coaster. It has to have 2 different curves. Okay, that is constraint number 1. Constraint number 2, you're actually going to be building a coaster for a marble. So we're not going to use cars this time. We're going to use marbles. Your marble must make it from the start of your coaster to the finish without help, meaning you can't give it a push halfway through because it's not going around the curve. It has to make the journey all by itself. And rule number 3, constraint number 3, you may only use the materials that are going to be given to you. And we'll talk about what those are in just a minute. All right, everybody good? All right, so.